Starting in a few minutes, come and get settled.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? My bad, my phone was on the charger.
Strange will go out there and block the hell up. Y'all that would only fight Emma. Wouldn't go to the back line. It's a necessary evil that I keep telling you, stupid niggas. That you need supports to be nerfed, but in order for supports to be nerfed, you need DPS to be nerfed. Because the DPS are overtuned, and the supports are overtuned. That's why tanks are just sitting there like this, hands in our pocket. Oh.
Yo, what up, homies? As always, man, I appreciate you guys for clicking on the video. Yo, y'all been on my head since I didn't upload in a couple days. I'm like, dang, bro. I'm like, hey, bro, my bad, bro. You know what I mean? So thank you guys all for the shares, the like, the comments. I'm glad you guys enjoy the content, bro. It's always love. I just want to say, though, like, wholeheartedly, I know a lot of us go through it. And I just want to say you got to take risk in life. You got to embrace failures. Sometimes that just comes with friendships, not just a business deal. That comes with going out and trying to find somebody to love, the people that you put in your circle. So embrace and take those risks with who you have around you. Sometimes it's okay to lose those people too. That's also a risk. You know, you got to remove certain people that's not meant to be in your life. I love y'all, man. As always, I really do. You feel me? Yo, I just want to go ahead and let you guys know. Go ahead and skip this part coming up right now and just go to the rest of the video where I talk about everything else. More in-depth conversation. Right? I need a moment to really cuss out the community, so just bear with me for a second, right? The part where the community is driving me crazy, I'm not even gonna lie, let's get into some takes real quick. The alt nerf change has really exposed a lot of people, but wait, we're gonna go even deeper. The hatred for supports and the hatred from supports to DPS. We gotta talk about something as a tank player. As a tank flex player, I'm tired of YouTube dirty niggas. I am straight up tired of YouTube dirty niggas. Every minute a DPS mindset. Healers are broken, man. Super uber duper broken, dude. They don't deserve it. Healers, DPS are trash. They don't get final hits. As a tank player sitting there watching you two grown niggas
argue about who's more broken. It's like a fat nigga calling another fat nigga fat. Shut up, fatty. No, you fatter than me. You both unhealthy. I don't know what to tell you niggas. The thing that's so annoying, you these niggas complain and get mad. DPS players telling me, no, what's the boosted man? You know many times, like 5 or 6 decks of this done when we win the game. Stupid nigga. Shouldn't you feel happy about that you defended your backline?
I still have some hunt left in me.
I want them to aim. Supports don't aim. There's a lot of DPS that don't aim. I got friends who play strictly dive because they don't aim on hit scan. I don't. Yo, this community is so stupid. Let me tell you why. Let's get deeper, though. Let's get deeper. So we're banning team healers, which I agree with. Take the vote out. Ban based on your rank. That's what I'm telling people. People get mad at me because I'm trying to push a flex mindset. So you niggas are against a flex mindset.
Can't you make me do it?
Niggas don't understand that a year plus in, we're gonna look at this game 5 years later and still be okay with a one trick, my nigga. A one trick most of the time don't do nothing. Because in a lot of your ranks, that player that's a one trick in most times isn't good enough to carry the team without swapping to become better for the team. Let me tell you where I draw the line though. Niggas ban main healers. I'm saying don't ban them stupid. Listen. I say ban for your ranks and what you go through. Niggas will see their sheets. This community sees. Because all they do is follow other players, other YouTubers, other streamers. All they do there. Why? They'll see them ban supports, but the higher ranked players know why they're doing it. Dummy! You can't do it because as a DPS you still go out there.
My soul shall
Standing
not
in the
rest
middle,
yet.
shooting like you a tank. Why? Because you niggas don't know how to play corner. You niggas don't know how to peek. That is the problem. And a lot of y'all don't be getting what I'm saying. For your rank, ban for your rank. Y'all are regurgitating you hear other higher ranked players say, well, such and such is broken. You can't play without that healer. You can't play without that healer. Because if y'all could, you wouldn't have hated Ultron. If y'all could, you wouldn't be mad at me. But you don't play corner. That's also double-edged sword because maybe y'all got a Mantis and the other team got Cloak and Dagger or whatever. But there's teams that know how to do things how to play around it. There are MRC teams that know how to play around it. But guess what? You don't know how to play around it. Because a lot of you niggas are like the stupid niggas from Call of Duty. Let me tell you why. Y'all, I said this the other day. Y'all remember in Call of Duty when you got a helicopter kill streak and you start killing people that jump over there and just wait. Dumb nigga. Dumb nigga. And your kill streak keep moving and the nigga respawn here in the attack helicopter in the air and still do come back and run out there. Dumb nigga. That's the problem with the community. These niggas hate cover. But I'm gonna tell y'all something very deep. And only common sense people are gonna get. Y'all need support.
They're winning. You still got a chance.
And a lot of supports will be able to tell you that. I don't think a lot of people understand. A good support player will tell you that most supports are boosted. I agree. We're on the same page. I agree with the DPS. But here's where I don't agree. See? Come here, dummy. Here's the problem. Where I don't agree. A lot of DPS players, they get on the game after watching a John Wick movie. They think they're him. Do you want to know where the problem lies? Is that a lot of DPS that hate the main healers. That's the main way you win your games.
Come on,
a lot of you.
Let's ride.
A lot
30
of
seconds before you
and
attack.
every rival player will tell you 99% of the community don't know how to play cover. So y'all know I'm not lying. A lot of you get bailed out with bad positioning, don't know how to play bad gameplay with bad game sense. with a burst healer that brought you back combat for making a life-threatening mistake. And that's the problem, because y'all don't appreciate being saved, but just trying to save the life. Just saying, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Now,
All you need to do is
it's
capture
better
the
if
missionary.
everybody knew how to play
Got it?
corner. Absolutely, get them stupid healers up out of here. The thing that I'm saying is a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot because you aren't good.
Locked and loaded. Just
A lot
need
of
a
y'all don't
target.
even play cover. A lot of y'all don't even know what counters what. I'm seeing the community. A lot of y'all see that people still don't shoot any nets. Hello, name more squids. They don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. Sprays will go out there and block the hell up. Y'all won't even shoot them down. It's a problem with the community.
Missionary
A lot of
is
them are
yours.
dumb. And this is the thing that I'm preaching for. The next thing that I'm preaching for the devs that give the community. And this is what I do. The end of the game stats. The devs come on, man.
Control
Gotta
lock.
have another meeting with the risers. Times me. The end of the game stats. I need it so bad. It would help the player base immensely. I don't think y'all understand how much that would actually help the community. Now, I gotta talk about healers. A lot of them are dust. A lot of them are dust. A lot of them have zero awareness, zero game sense. But to say every healer does
Another chance.
is blasphemy. Okay? Because the average healer can't play the DPS role. And the average DPS can't play the healer role. Here's the funny thing. You put a high rank DPS player on support, they'll deal with a crazy dive, they couldn't do it. But they'll yell at support and say, you should be able to deal with it. Niggas, you couldn't even deal with it. Niggas, all the people that tell you, this is man, easy and right 26. Nigga, you go support. I guarantee you, he violate you back there with cat scratches. I guarantee you, he violate you back there because you wouldn't be able to deal with it. Because your character, you ain't even gonna be able to lock in like that. See, that's the problem with the community, is that they don't understand. So the mindset in the community is so backwards, my nigga, because they all look at it as individual and it's supposed to be a team. That's what I'm pushing. It shows shorts and everything every day of how people hate teamwork. They hate it. I don't know what's wrong with you dumb, goofy niggas. It's to sit there as a team player to see these niggas complaining about who's more broken. You know how frustrating that is to me? Losing capture animation, can't you?
Progress has passed the halfway point.
You know how frustrating that is to me? That's to get a 6-second delay on Angela's plus.
This is no time for this my way.
You know how frustrating that is to me? Losing 50 shields, nigga. The thing that blows my mind is we won't support
By the
Star.
eye of Agamotto.
I'm always support. That's what my videos are about. Perfect supports. But I'm not just that brain dead. There's a lot of brain dead content creators out here. And people, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I always call these people out here. You have to remove
Keep capturing
that's
the
negative.
mission area. Keep going.
Everything I push for is for the betterment and the balance of the game. Do I want sports man? Yes. Do I want sports nerf? Yes. But wait, there's more. DPS need to be nerfed too. DPS need to be banned too.
Your place is at my feet.
You're telling me you're gonna prioritize banning most healers and not ban Elsa? What kind of nigga in my game tell me live on screen? Oh, are we banning Elsa still? What season are you? She's not even good anymore. DPS players. The problem is, and this is my stance, 90% of you niggas are dumb. But nobody wanna tell you. Because they want to prop you up as if y'all know what you're talking about. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these content creators, they're playing on your feelings of something. They're playing on your heartstrings of things that they know feel strongly about. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Oh man, dive need to be buffed. What? Support slop. What? What? It would be better if all supports were nerfed. That's half true. Because the game would be better if all supports was nerfed. The game would be fantastic. It's a necessary evil that I keep telling you, stupid niggas. Because you need supports to be nerfed, but in order for supports to be nerfed, you need DPS to be nerfed. Because the DPS are overtuned and the supports are overtuned. That's why tanks are just sitting there like this, hands in our pocket. Well, I don't know what to do next. You feel me? It's so many things that players have to understand. It's so many things. There's so many DPS players that's running around thinking that damage is all they need to do. They don't play off angles. They don't know how to 1v1. Yeah, let me say something. I haven't seen so many players this season frustrated. Let me tell you why I get frustrated. Because it has exposed so much of the community. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of y'all might not be with me with this one. The 20% all across the board alt nerf, shoot, we could do 30. I think we could do 30. Because once you start forcing the neutral more, you won't be complaining about those alts as much. You won't be complaining about the overtuned backline as much with their invincibility alts. Well, I'm telling you, a lot of the secret to this game is in the neutral. But guess what? When you play in the neutral, guess what? When you do that, though, when you buff the neutral more, you expose even more bad players. You know how many GM and Celestial players are in gold right now? Plats. GM and Celestial. Do you know how many is in gold and plats? A lot of niggas don't know what to do. It's embarrassing. It's crazy on how these players are going about this game because they hate communication. If you ban these healers, communicate. I'm not talking about no stupid healer strike. I'm talking about knowing what to ban for you as a community. I don't know why you niggas are so dumb. Most of the people are dumb. You watch my stream every day. You probably hear me complaining on shorts. You flashing out on you. You're probably thinking, man, it ain't that bad, Rio. There's no way it's that bad. Pull up in my streams and what? You know how many people come to my streams and be like, yeah, man, I actually take it back. I thought you was exaggerating. Didn't know it was this bad as you thought. That's crazy, bro. This account is cursed. It's insane with the people that you get. It's insufferable. And the only thing else that I'm pushing for right now is the throwing. We need to, I know they're trying to lock down on the throwing, but just make it straight. Just go off the back. Just hammer down right away. Just hammer down right away. People give it up and leaving. You can't stop a person from making a decision, but you can definitely punish them to where we don't have to see them niggas no more making those decisions. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm looking for. Now, as I go deeper in the video, I want to say this before I go deeper in the video with what I'm going to say. And I'm going to be dead honest. White Fox was a perfect character to me. White Fox is a character that I felt like the only thing she needed, and I keep saying this, she didn't need buffs. She needed quality of life changes. And the quality of life changes that I said that I felt like she needed was getting her tails back after all and starting the game with her tails.
Get ready.
That's just common sense. I just felt like the devs forgot that. Let me tell you why. Giving a dive character healing over time is stupid. The problem why people don't like White Fox is because they don't know where to play her. They're trying to heal bot when she's a certain type of team comp character. The problem with this game, DPS and healers alike, a lot of these niggas, and some dumb tanks, a lot of these niggas want to play one character in everything. It's not meant for that situation. And people can't fathom that it's not meant for that situation. Yes, because you're supposed to come up with a team comp. It's a synergy. It's a play style. Something that you guys are coming up with together. But sometimes you have a team with no synergy. Nobody has an understanding of what it is they're going out there to do. They're just picking a character and nothing's working because there's no comprehensive decision of what you guys are supposed to do. Dummies, I want to point this out right here. A lot of these people in your games, a lot of y'all will rank up more. A lot of us will rank up more if people actually understand target priority. That's where I'm at in the game. Niggas rather hate one role than learn target priority. How many times have y'all played with somebody? How many times have y'all had people in your game that had terrible target priority, and that is the reason why you lost? Because they did not know who to target. They go after the wrong one. I had a Daredevil the other day that would only fight Emma, wouldn't go to the back line. On stream, y'all saw it. It's insane to me. A lot of it is common sense, but this community does not have common sense. A lot of this community also, the reason why I need the end of the game stat sheet in the game, during the game, is because I'm going to tell you guys this. This community don't understand what value is.
Again.
I need y'all to timestamp this. This is one of the craziest things. It's going to sound simple, but I'm going to tell you guys this. This community don't know what value is. They don't know resource management. You can go back there with an Angela. You're keeping off 3 of their teammates, which means it's only 3 of their other teammates fighting the front line.
Keep going.
If it's 1 of me versus 3 of them, and 5 of you versus 3 of them, how are we still losing? When they're burning all their resources back there, not even looking at the front line. A lot of them don't know what to do because they need you to carry. There's a lot of boosted players in the wrong rank. But I'm glad the all cheaters are exposing you. It's been frustrating, but it's been making it better. Cleaning up the community slower. That's why I say up to another 10%, get to 30. A lot of them will lose their minds at that point. Get to 30. They don't even know how to play the game. There's a lot of DPS players that think that they're the main character, wanting to play Elsa, going negative. Hella, going negative. Jean, going negative. Nigga, you know you could have made your life simple if you think Squirrel Girl or Scarlet Witch. But you think you're too cool for that. Your favorite streamer don't play them, so you think you're too cool for that. But the objective is to win the game. You'd rather lose the game than play them, though. So you can't rank up, and now you're in loser queue. Guan got you, right? That's where I'm at. The alt buff is pretty fire because all you're gonna do is spam that button. Right? All you're gonna do is spam that button. You get it for free. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't need to be CC immune during her ult. Right? If she's CC immune during the...
Tastes like the heart-shaped herb.
If she's CC immune during the ultimate, like she's broken. Right? Here's why. Not mad at you. You just reminded me why I'm mad at you.
Only given so many chances
Like,
to shine.
they make me so upset. Right? They make me so upset. Here's why it makes me upset, right? If, warning. Here's the thing that throws me off, right? Okay? Let's look at this, right? Let's look at this. Okay? The community eat crayons. Okay? Let me just tell you guys what I agree with.
The hunt is not over.
White Fox getting the full stack after the ultimate, that's just common sense. That's a quality of life change. That makes sense. Okay? I'm not talking about nothing else. I'm just talking about that makes sense. That is a #1 quality of life change that she needs with the tail. Okay? Here's the problem with the community. Right? The problem with the community is everybody don't want to fundamentally get better, so you put things in place to offset bad positioning and bad skill play, right? So I'm not good at reacting, but I want to help rank up still with this character, so let me add some things to the character that'll help you out in your success. The thing that goes through with this, you guys don't understand, it doesn't make any sense because the character is really good while being dope. The problem with why most White Fox players aren't successful is not because of the character, and it's not because she's not CC immune. The problem lies with how they implement and how they engage. Majority of this game is I have my button, I'm gonna click it. The average player in this game is gonna see the button and is gonna click it. They have no communication, and with a lack of communication, the character exposes a lot of bad players. When you use White Fox, you coordinate, and when somebody goes in, be like, yo, what's the play? We go in, she enhances dive. So she is a big target. While she's a big target, they're going to focus her while small heals are going out. But also the dive is going to be so impactful that things aren't going to be able to keep their full attention on her because so much distraction is happening. The most powerful thing in the game is a coordinated dive. Bar none. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's not hella poke. It's not Jean. the most powerful thing in the entire game is a coordinated dive. And once you start making coordinated dives easier, the game becomes more difficult to deal with. But people don't understand that because they don't want to coordinatedly get better. So when you go in with White Fox with another dive, you create so much distraction and so much chaos that she's gonna get success anyway.
Got it?
You're just gonna get success anyway. In majority of the times, if you do a coordinated dive, 90% of the time, maybe 100, you're gonna get success. It could be success in kills. It could be success with White Fox popping ult and just getting 2 support ults to go off, or getting a support ult to go off and getting a DPS ult to go off. Either way, you're just left with extreme value to now overtake points. But people don't look at things like that, and that's why it makes me so frustrated. Because, and I'm gonna go a bit further, in this do not need self-shield heal. They're trying to do everything self-shield heal or to heal. She doesn't need it. She just, if you give her the shield, take away the heal. A lot of players are just so bad and they don't communicate in a team-based game because they hate communicating in a team-based game that they feel offended if they don't have the heal on the shield. If you remove the heal on Invis shield, she is still an extremely top-tier character because the shield is there to outplay players and outplay big moves and outplay states. Like, I'm not understanding. So let's go back to this, right? So, the Spectral Surge new effect, casting the ability now provides 50 healing to White Fox, right? It gives her more sustain. She gets more sustain of a window. I'm not mad about it. It's just weird with the direction to how you have the buff, and this comes from the high-level players too. This comes from so much wrong in the game, and this is why I hate so much of the community. Just simply because low rank, mid rank, and high rank is all asking for the same thing. This character needs to be buffed. Right? The majority of the players are saying this character needs to be buffed. But in order for the game to get to you can't have perfect balance, you can't have amazing balance. You can have a step in the right direction. This character, this character, this character, and everybody else should be around this character. That's the thing that we don't want to talk about. Heal pool too. That's the thing we don't want to talk about. Is everybody else's healing should be around this character's level. And once you bring everybody else to this character's level or around it, you find some kind of way. Like Adam, people don't want to hear it. Adam is a perfect healer. People don't want to talk about that. Adam is a perfect healer, but most people hate Adam because these niggas exist. These niggas exist. That's why you hate. That's why most people hate Adam. Here's the other thing. If you bring all of this down with the main healers to this or whatever, then you get to the point to where you know you can tone down your DPS damage. Once you get to tone down your DPS damage, you're looking at a way more acceptable, powerful neutral, powerful balanced game. Once you do that. But the reason why I can't take most content creators' points is because most content creators, most of them, I don't know if they have AA meetings on Wednesdays to where all of them are saying the same thing to say nerf healers and make that run as a thing in the community. I don't know if that's what they discuss at their AA meetings, say nerf healing. But all of them is regurgitating the same thing and don't want to talk about that you can't nerf healing without nerfing damage. And the damage needs to be turned down because you can't have a game where damage is the way it is with healing being toned down. It's not livable. It's not livable. But since majority of the content creators and majority of the people play DPS, you don't hear that conversation. You don't hear people talking about stuff like that. You don't hear people pushing for the right thing because they're biased. They're biased in what they need. They're biased in what they're going for. That's why I hate most of these niggas, man. Like, I can't stand it because White Fox is a perfect representation other than Tails coming back after you ult. Tails coming back after you ult is perfect. Tails coming back after you ult is perfect. She needed that. It just didn't make any sense. It just seemed like something was missing. Right? The character's fine. People keep trying to use... Here's the thing. People want to use every character in
My
every
claws
comp.
may be sharp, but my
That's the
mind
problem with
is far
rivals.
sharper.
That's the whole problem with rivals right there. Is that most people are ignorant and want to use every character they want in every comp. The game is designed for
30 seconds before
counterplay.
attack.
But as soon as you bring up counterplay, these press bucket niggas start thinking about Overwatch. They're dumb. It's not Overwatch. It's the way on how you adapt to what's happening with the team comp that you're using. So each character, each support is fundamentally better with certain team comps. But you can't tell most healers that because they only know, yo, I'm picking this. Okay, but you don't work for this team comp though. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you can make it work if the other team is bad. You see what I'm saying? Or sometimes you can make it work if your team is just that much better than the other team. But you're supposed to swap. That's why you're supposed to know multiple characters. It's the same reason you want a player that knows multiple DPS. You're supposed to keep swapping in and out. That's why the game isn't rogue, so you can come up with a diverse team comp. They don't want to hear that, though. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear a logical take. They don't want to hear a normal way of thinking with the game because they all want to see it go in the direction like niggas will tell you, BP is back. Yes, ban him. Ban him. You come across a demon BP. Once you come across a demon BP, and once you come across a demon Spider-Man, even if you pick their counters, they're still gonna get success because they're just that demonic. You know what I'm saying? Like, this game makes me so mad, bro. It's because it's the people. Like, niggas will think Namor 1-for-1 counters Spider-Man. No, Namor 1-for-1 counters an idiot. A goated Spider-Man is gonna play through that Namor all day. I hate this, bro. I hate this community, bro. It's driving me crazy, man. They just be driving me crazy, bro. They be driving me crazy. The game, let me tell you something. People want the game to be balanced until they see how balanced feels. They just don't like it. That's the problem. Everybody's screaming for balance. Then you get something balanced and you're like, ew, I don't like that. It doesn't feel fun. Balance doesn't feel fun. That's what White Fox is. White Fox is a balanced character, but niggas don't like the way balance feels. They don't like the way how balance feels. So now they want her to get OD buffs. Getting her tails after ult is a fair buff. The rest of these characters have gotten people so spoiled with the game that the game just seems like it's never gonna get to that way of things being balanced ever, unless you just keep lowering the ult charge even more. Like it's at 20% now, shoot, get it to 30. The only way the game I feel like is gonna get to a decent place is if these characters are gonna be broke. Well, if they're broke, well, make the neutral stronger. And once you make the neutral stronger, make it 30% ult. 30%, 35% ult charge reduction, whatever the case is. And once you do that, then even though these characters are broke, they're not spamming ultra dependent on ults. So now you're forced to actually play the game, which is then still going to separate the average player in the game. Most nigga, you know how many White Fox players I'll see that want to heal bot? Her heals just isn't that good. Yeah, that's because you're not supposed to be doing what you're doing. That's because what you're doing isn't what you're supposed to be doing. I just don't get it, man. This community, and this is why I get upset. This is why I get upset. It's because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Listen, I want y'all to pay attention because y'all are not dumb. The average, when things are going crazy in the community, and this is why I get upset. When things are going crazy in the community, because I've been trying to slow down in things that I say. When things are going crazy, you see content creators saying, these things are too broken and it needs to be fixed, right? Then we get something regular and average, and the same content creators would be like, well, I do think she needs more of a buff to keep up with the rest of the healers. My nigga, what do you want? Huh? What do you genuinely want? What do you want? What do you want, bro? Because I can't tell. Because every time their stance changes, You feel me? Every time their things changing. And then
Get
when
the fuck out of here.
it's, yo, you gotta ban this because it's broke. Then they start banning healers. White Fox ban, Invis ban, Broken Dagger ban, Gambit ban, Luna ban. Now you got 5 healers banned. But while you want 5 healers banned, you want to still get heal botted because you don't know how to play corner. You don't know how to play corner. So since you don't know how to play corner, you're crying about heals, but you ban the people that support you for your bad gameplay. That's what these overtuned healers do. They support your bad gameplay, your bad decision making, and your bad positioning. They make you think that you're a better player than you are because they cover your bad mistakes, because they heal you so much so you think you did nothing wrong. So when these healers are not in the game and you get regular healers, you start to think, man, my healers aren't healing enough. No, they just covered your mistakes, and now you can't play because it's exposing how bad you intentionally was, nigga. I hate them, bruh. I hate these players. They get away with so much, but they want the healer. They want the healer role to main every single healer. They'll tell you main every healer. But here's the thing: these niggas for a one-trick magic, for a one-trick VP, or only play Moon Knight. But you want the healer to play 6 to 7 different healers. But my nigga, you struggle and you can't play 3 or 2. You can't even swap. So now the tank gotta swap for you. I'm trying to understand the corresponding understanding of this game of how these niggas work. I'm trying to understand. I don't get it.
Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not
I don't get it, bruh. Like, I genuinely don't get it.
Are you ready to hunt? I was chosen by Bast. Let me show you why.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Like, I genuinely don't get it. I agree with the Deadpool stuff, though. Deadpool deserved that. All around. Elsa, still broke. All she gotta do is, like, she's still broke. She got too much movement and everything. She's still broke.
White Fox heals are sufficient enough for her role. She heals enough for...
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Man, look, today's
All you need
just
to do is capture the mission area.
to start this off with a question for you guys to think about and respond in the comments. Do you believe that the characters within the strategist role on Marvel Rivals are designed well? I'll say it again. Do you believe that strategists, the characters within that role, are designed well for this game? Let me know your thoughts down below. And regardless if you're a tank player, regardless if you're a DPS player, regardless if you only play support, I want to know all perspectives. Whether you're casual, mid-rank, high rank. I just want to know how you guys feel about just the overall design, your perspective on just the strategy for itself. With that being said, support me. Y'all knew this video was coming. Okay, I sat there and said the DPS community was hopeless. They was like, yo, accountability, family. You gotta talk about the other spectrum. I was like, y'all right. Supports. We gotta talk about how y'all hopeless us before you get mad. Before y'all like, oh, here we go. And I'm actually not even necessarily hating on my support players like that. This is actually, this discussion has more to do with just the character design on NetEase. This is actually a developer kind of thing, to be completely honest. So I want to talk about how the devs kind of design these supports, what goes on in the gameplay loop-wise that support players kind of have to deal with, and how that gameplay loop has evolved, like, what happened from the design into the gameplay loop, and how that's translated into the perspective of how the whole community views what support should be doing in Marvel Rivals. So I'm not going to be like, oh, you guys are, it's not good. We're actually having a discussion. Don't worry, calm down.
Feel free to give me your input and all your viewpoints down there. With that being said, before we get into the yap session, I gotta be petty. Give me a minute and 30 seconds to be petty right quick. I'll put a timestamp up for you guys to jump to if you don't want to hear it. But for those of you who rock with me, when you click on this video, I know my titles are hyperbolic. It's intentional. It's intentionally hyperbolic. But when you actually listen, you understand that we're having a discussion. We're talking about nuances within the game that not a lot of people touch on. I'm bringing in different viewpoints. I shift my mind to have a different perspective. That's why when I do perspective videos, that's why you guys see working with I was taking the perspective of a tank game, a DPS game, from a support game. And I was putting myself in our shoes and doing the videos from that perspective. That's what made it great. That's why I like y'all input. The majority of y'all are great positive vibes. Y'all vibing, y'all great. There's a secondary, a tiny 1% of you idiots. And I'm not talking about the people that I'm talking about this a small percentage of people that lack any kind of literacy, comprehension skills, like my video and be like, oh, this guy's complaining. There hasn't been one video that I have sat here and complained for 10, 20 minutes on it. It was just me complaining from start to finish. Now, I might joke around about my DPS players calling y'all stupid for not peeling. You know, I'm gonna joke around. Don't get me wrong. But I will never make a video of me being like, I hate this game. Marvel Rivals is trash. Blah, 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 blah. You know, matchmaking, I hate it. I hate this, I hate that. I've never done a video like that. Now, I talk about different aspects of the game that can be worked on. That's factual. I talk about how, different, things within the community could be better. Yeah, but I also give solutions. But at the same time, I keep forgetting we're in this era where people got TikTok brains, so they can't sit here and actually comprehend and listen to anything. So I had just one specific video, and that's actually in the comment section. I sat here and said I was going to bring this up in another video. I didn't do it in my last one because I was more like this, guide focus. But here we are. Let me be petty right here. All right. So listen, I was talking about Adam Warlock. It was a funny video. I was talking about the perspective of Adam Warlock if we can use basically. Long story short, some of you may have watched it. Check it out if you haven't. This man decided to say, Gamer Pitch Wave 3,500. I'll say this once again. Why not bother you while you complain to give us a more informative video to educate while you rant? You simply are just complaining daily, milking this for content, bother you to help bad players improve, or are you scared to show us your performance in gameplay? Yeah, here's the thing. I said it was going to be a minute 30. I'll put the time simple if y'all want to jump ahead. Don't. That's it here in these comments. Some people be like, man, I don't pay attention. I'm not above kicking a chihuahua. That's the thing. If a freaking chihuahua bites your freaking toe, guess what you're going to do? You're going to stomp it out. So we're going to stomp this thing out right there. First of all, all my videos are literally discussion-based and educational. So, a little irritating. Maybe I'm funny to some people, hopefully. But, yeah, all my videos are literally intended to be discussion, educational, so people don't learn this perspective. So, one, you got to fuck up. Two, Mr. Dino. As far as me VOD reviewing and everything like that, yeah, you can go to the different channel if you want to see constant VOD reviews. Most people don't even like VOD reviews like that. Now, I'll do them every once in a while. But most of my views are just on me just having a discussion, just talking to y'all about certain things. So as far as, your little comment on, am I scared to show my gameplay? I go live on Twitch. I've been live here on YouTube multiple times. I've been live on Twitch a plethora of times. The only reason why I have been live recently, and that's just for the general audience, I've just been a little bit busy doing other stuff, so that's all that is. And as far as, instead of playing clutch, to help bad players improve, that's what this discussion is for, to help them improve. But we want to be so stupid and only listen to the first 30 seconds of the video and sat there and say, I'm just milking content, where literally every single one of my videos has some kind of discussion-based aspect to it. So for anyone that wants to be in my comments and be just as stupid as Mr. Gamer Pitchway 3,500, you will get the same treatment.
not by
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to show more. I'm not going to show more attention to negativity, but I have to address it because this individual has commented multiple times, and you gotta kick a chihuahua. With that said, okay, let's get. I love y'all. Anyway, so supports. What's the thing with supports in this game? But there's a certain perspective when you're playing strategies, right? What strategies are you usually played within your games, right? If you're trying to learn strategies, what's the main sport that people are probably going to tell you that they want you to play? Well, get that. It's like probably going to be option number one. She's not really banned that. I mean, she is banned every once in a while, but she's not banned like how Gambit is. Then you got, Rocket. No one's not really necessarily going to get mad for playing Rocket. Then you got Invis, Gambit if he's not banned, and then probably Luna if you can aim. Do you know what the problem is within the strategist role? And like I said, it's not really necessarily related to the actual players themselves. The playstyle is a result of the design and also balancing the people. The problem with the perspective of healers in this game is that characters like Adam, Mantis, and Ultron are essentially seen as bad picks for the most part. People will see these, they'll see Ultron and be like, oh, his heals suck. They'll see Mantis, oh, her heals. What's the main critique? Oh, her heals suck. What's the main critique I have? Oh, his heals suck. And it's not necessarily that their heals suck. It's just that they don't heal right. And the way this game was never designed. I mean, okay, imagine Marvel Rivals if the only supports that we had were Adam, Mantis, and Ultron. Just how different of a game would be if it was Adam, Mantis, Ultron. You could throw Loki in there, and you could throw like heal. How different is it if you just took every other character out? We've been through it a little bit when people sit there and ban 6 supports, and we are the only person we got like freaking Loki and a goddamn Ultron. We've been through it. It's a completely different game. But the reason why people prefer your Cloaks, your Lunas, your Invis, your Gambits of the world, right? Jeff the Landsharks, if they know what they're doing. White Fox, she's an interesting, unique situation we're going to kind of put off to the side. They prefer those heal body characters because there's a lot of damage in this game. There's a lot of damage. You got people who don't play cover. And I said this multiple times, I've never been part of a gaming community of people who sit there and just stand out in the open. I played support for 4.5 seasons straight. When Gambit came out, I played them, through all the nerfs and everything. I learned Invis. I was going through learning all the supports, was learning White Fox when she first came out. And one thing has been consistent. There's a lot of damage, and there's a lot of people just not playing no kind of cover. And since we're in a very weird era of just a bunch of solo tanking, there's less frontline tanks to kind of absorb any kind of damage. So naturally, when you got one tank, more of your squishies are going to get hit, and they're going to start falling over. And due to that simple fact, people want burst heals. And since people want burst heals, guess what your playstyle is going to be relegated to? Just constantly heal body because they're not playing cover, so you're not even able to sit there and use. I've had Cloak and Daggers. Never used Terror Cape. Well, what's it called? I don't know how long get the ability mixed up. The dark ability for I can't even hold on. Yeah, Terror Cape, right? I've had Cloak and Daggers on my team, never switched to Cloak, and not even used Terror Cape. His Terror Cape is it has so much utility to it. I say utility as the fact that it has so many uses and applications. You can use it to sit there and deter a push. You can use it to sit there and help heal. You can use it to sit there and help get cleanup. You can use it to actually sit there and to initiate a push and steamroll the enemy team to gain that extra damage on whoever you affected with the Terror Cape. But since we're in a meta where if you sit there and try to do the little animation cancel and someone sits and Cloak, as Mr. Blackman for 2 seconds, they straight tweaking on you. Yo, why are you in Cloak on me? It's like, God dang, I'm just trying to do a little reload cancel. That's where we at. And I know because I've sat there and done it. I've been there. I've done the reload cancel for Cloak and Dagger. They see me in cloak for a split second. I swap the cloak to throw a terror kick at somebody. Someone on the microphone. Bro, can my cloak and dagger not be a DPS? I'm just like, bro, I do a debuff to help with the Black Panther that's guiding us, yo. I do a terror kick on the tank, on the fool on the road that's just trying to walk you down. Like you can't survive for a split second there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there might be cloak. You might run into a cloak that's only a dagger. I told you that's only in cloak, but it's not really that common. Okay, it's not that common to me. I really run into a cloak and dagger player where they're mostly in cloak. That's anecdotal to me. But you will get upset. You sit there and try to sit there and play somebody like White Fox. Now, arguably, White Fox, she is one of the newer supports. I still don't think the community fully understands how to actually utilize White Fox to her fullest capability yet. So it's just like a time thing for people to actually make the character. But when she came out, they decided by side comparisons of how much, she's able to heal, how long it takes for the heal showing up to full HP. And when people saw the comparison between her and Luna and this here, White Fox saw her heal up. Everything else is lit. Ignored the fact that, if I go heal dive comp, she's actually pretty lit. If we have a White Fox, actually she makes it a lot easier to peel for dive DPS or dive tanks because she can hold her own and she can sit there. She has a lot of utility with her shield. You don't hold with it. She can sit there and protect you in the most fucking way. There's actually a lot of utility there. But most people don't think about that. If you can't heal, if you can't do a lot of burst healing, their perspective of the character is just like, whatever. So, who else is also in this boat? Luna Snow is kind of in this boat, but she's only in this boat if you can't aim. That's my only problem with Luna Snow.
Everybody want to play with this fucking dinosaur, man. Play with somebody you can fucking play with.
Whether Luna is open to...
Or take your bitch ass to quick play with her.
Luna is in a perfect spot. Yeah, they gave her a couple extra abilities so she can sit there and, she can heal it herself now and everything.
Every match, somebody playing with a savvy dinosaur that they can't fucking play with.
I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that, in my opinion, with how they changed Luna, because most people that play Luna, there's only a finite number of players that know how to play Luna effectively and are very accurate enough to really impact the game. If you know how to play Luna, she's arguably one of the best DPS characters that's not even a DPS. Spider-Man players hate to see a good Luna because she basically hits me. Oh no, she basically hits me. You hit the freeze, get the headshot, you don't really get damage, you can't do nothing to it. But the thing is, you're gonna hear me say fun a lot, if you can't aim, that's why Cloak and Dagger, things like Rocket exists. They can auto aim. Rocky don't really have to necessarily worry about, being, aiming, accurately, something just shoot in the general direction. So those kinds of characters, they're gonna have certain perceptions. You pick a Rocket, you pick an Invis, you pick a Cloak, people aren't gonna get mad at you. You pick Mantis. I've been on record saying this. Mantis and Ultron are by far, before Gambit was in the game, let me say that. Before Gambit was added, Mantis and Ultron were by far my favorite strategists in this game. And I can't play them, one, because they're better in triple support comp, but even if I did try them in dual support comp, they just don't work. Because one, their teammates don't play cover. Two, there's a lot of damage in this game. And three, they're, like I said before, they're just better in triple support anyway. But most people don't even know how to run a proper triple support. And the thing with me playing Ultron, the thing with me playing Mantis, I'm better off just playing Invis or Gambit or Loki or any other, main sustain support to kind of get value for my team. Because they're not going to utilize the utility I have. I put a clone on a flanking DPS, they lose. I sit there and damage boost, my DPS or something on Mantis, they still die anyway. I'm saying practice with the damage, trying to help my tank out. It just nothing works. It's not going to play cover. They want heals right then and there. It just doesn't work. So I'm just like, okay, let me just go. I can play anybody else. At the beginning it'll still just make it work. And that's the problem. So what's the solution? How do we fix the perception. And like I said, this is a dead thing. Yes, you're gonna have people that play support that suck. Alright, you know, you got support, you got Broken Dagger mains that only know Broken Dagger and they can't play nobody else. You got Jeff mains that only play Jeff. I get it, right? You have DPS players that suck and you try to swap to third support and you have a Broken Dagger and Invis already and they go freaking Luna Snow and mess up the whole freaking support healing time. I know, I'm not talking about them. How do you just fix, how do you fix the perception enough to it's where you can pick an iron, you can pick a mage, you can pick a load, you can pick a white heart, you can pick an Ultron, people aren't automatically crashing out. I play support for 4 seasons straight. Every time I pick those, they crash out. Big Magic, they got mad. Big Loki, they got mad. And if they didn't get mad immediately on Loki, you know, I mean, playing Loki, they die because they just don't know how to position themselves or whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, you do like a lock in set. Look, it happens every single time. It happens all the time. How do you fix it yourself? Well, there's a couple of things, and honestly, this is something that has to be fixed anyway, but we talk about healing being very strong in this game. We also got to talk about how damage is very, I don't want to say damage to overseen, but there's just a lot of damage in this game. And since there's a lot of damage, you got characters like Phoenix, there's like Wolverine out there, a lot of DPS. A lot of characters, since a lot of people are going to be running triple DPS. You even have utility supports like Ultron Mantis that can add to the DPS. You have characters like Storm that can boost the DPS. You see what I mean? There's a lot of damage in this game. So at some point, of course, this timeline, they have to make support strong. That's all they have has to be strong. You can't have a bunch of utility supports. Fundamentally, they have to have heal body characters. And since characters are in like a heal body space, they're in this like heal body playstyle, the players that use them are gonna have, they're gonna adapt that heal body system, but they're not gonna learn how to adapt it more quickly. Mantis, it's also advantage, sit there, you can do a flanker, you can stun, you can self-damage me,
What kind of healing do they got, bro?
Design-wise, this really have much of this fix. If that character gets banned and you try to learn somebody else, or you know what I'm saying? You get dove on, you don't know how to deal with the diver, you're too used to always heal body. And that's where so many issues come from. Supports get dove on by Inspireman, they don't know how to deal with them because they never played any other character that actually knows how to deal with Inspireman. And if they do, even they are on a cookie that they are on the they don't understand how to use the kits offensively because they're too being healed by bunnies. That's the whole thing. So yeah, I be calling my support soft and I'm like, God dang, y'all get dove on by a solo Adam you can't handle. I'm like, dang. But at the same time, the whole entire their whole entire career, their whole entire existence on playing Marvel Rivals, they've been playing support, they've just been healed by the whole time. If all I did was just constantly with my teammates, of course I'm not going to know how to deal with somebody. Of course I'm not going to know how to counteract their double, counteract these deals, counteract fire. I'm not going to understand the flanking deals or something. Yeah, of course not. You're not going to know how to deal with the Angela. You're not going to know when they fight an Iron Fist to wait till the series to sit there and try to, do an invis pull where he uses full dash and really the small loss that you guys can bounce on. You're not going to know that kind of stuff. The average support player is not going to know because all they are told to do, all they are called, is my healer sucks. When people look at the stat sheet, they're like, yo, your heals are trash. That's all they're worried about on the stat sheet. All your heals, they don't care about your final hits. That's why Rockets can sit there and play the game and go the whole game without ever shooting a single bullet in any kind of damage, and they won't get blamed for it. I mean, most sports in this game won't get blamed for having no damage anyway. And of course,
my team is trash, bro. They don't even fucking exist.
Adam, especially on top of the game, White Fox better actually being damaged.
But
my whole philosophy is just the way I play support aggressively. I'm still looking to get picks. I'm not just worried about, okay, yeah, I can heal, but I can multitask. A lot of players can't do that because they're not used to having to be in situations where they can multitask. They're always told, I need to get my heal set. Now look at my heal set. I have so in my games, they're asking early support, hey, how much heals you got? Oh, I just want to make sure I'm keeping up. Okay.
Oh my god.
Bump your heroes. You can have all the heroes in the world. I'll always tell these people. You can have 40, 50K minions and still and you be like, fuck, well, I have 50K heroes. And now look at your final hits. You got one final hit. And y'all went into multiple overtime. It's just like, really? Now, I get it. It's like, why have you a job? Yeah, you gotta keep your team like the school you do. It's like basketball. I'm always going to use the analogy. Just because I'm a playmaker, just because I'm a center, right? Let's say I'm a center. My job is to sit there and get.
Oh my god, I missed my block.
I wasn't sitting there setting screens. I wasn't getting no blocks. I wasn't, doing any kind of switching. When someone got pinned on the screen, I wasn't doing no call outs. I wasn't calling out a pick. I wasn't doing nothing. But I got my rebounds.
This bitch is still moving.
I got my boards. It's not my job to score. Look at you don't necessarily have to score. Yes, of course, you don't necessarily have to go to the score, baby. But it would be nice if I sit there and throw you a lob and you got a dunk right there. It would be nice if my white boss would have sit my fingers there and try to sit there and do this.
Hey, kill a fucking rocket, bro.
You know that my cloak and dagger knows how to be a little more offensive. Have a little skill that can aim, hit a free on a diver. It would be nice.
God fucking
freaking 10 final hits. Like, at least give me a couple. I would like to have Rocket where I look down at the bottom right. I'm like, okay, Rocket had 8K damage. Okay, cool. That means you're doing so. That means you're applying pressure someone. That means when you get dove on, you shoot.
Yeah, he switched off the dinosaur and then this bitch switched to the dinosaur.
Don't be like, alright, cool.
Don't play quick play, you son of a bitch.
I might make the 18 switch up their comp.
By that one,
they can box for real. It's stuff of that nature. But because of design, the design set, the balancing, the design choice and the balancing of the game.
This motherfucker been in the game for an hour and a half.
To a certain perspective,
and I done played with him every fucking match. Every fucking match.
Some, crazy heals. Look at stats, you're like, yo, this should be the heal set. And when that's not the case, oh, you suck. But you were doing all kinds of other stuff that you couldn't about, oh, you only had 20K heals. You only had 20K. But you're over here being disruptive, but you got...
How many hours you practice with the dinosaur, bro? One? I've only been out for a fucking hour.
So the only way you can fix it, one, start adding more supports in like Boss. I really appreciated the design choice of Fight Boss. It's not a heal boss, but you also have utility, which you can upgrade it in other ways and keep it really more than just obviously healing. That's why I like Gambit. That's why Jeff, when he's played the right way, you got some full body Jeff played, but when Jeff is played the right way, he has a high flaming invitation to sit there and win rounds, cancel ults, build your team. He has a high, ceiling to really secure the team. Heal pool, for example. A lot of people, they don't really understand heal pool still. It's kind of weird. But I didn't play them a whole bunch more, and I'm like, yo, I had this much fun on heal pool than I do on Gambit. I still like it. But, systems of that nature. Design-wise, more utility as supports. This will force the overall support community to start learning characters that aren't heal body. This will also force DPS and tank players to stop playing like some movies on the open. It will help people adapt. That's why help people adapt and learn. Learning to become better players, and that's what we need. Okay, that's what this discussion has came to. If you shift the design, you shift the playstyle, you shift the perspective. Now instead of expecting, oh, I hope my rocket gets at least as much training. I'm like, okay, I hope my rocket is able to play here. He's able to get some hits here maybe defend himself long enough. How about here, get a little bit of damage here and there. That's what the perception needs. That's why I appreciate how Overwatch they supports. That's why when I played Smite, even though there wasn't necessarily a healer role necessarily, there was ways you can support your team on Smite that wasn't, oh yeah, I'm healing. You know what I'm saying? Like there was healing, there was ability. There was a lot of stuff that went into it. And Marvel Rivals could use that. It forces you to be good. It really shows the skill expression. It's kind of hard to skill express yourself on Cloak. It's hard to skill express yourself on someone like Rocket. Because their playstyles one-dimensional. Stop having characters that have one-dimensional playstyles. White Fox can get aggressive, heal, she's in the mix, heal, she can jump in with the guy, there's a lot she can do. Ultron, his drones out, he get into the mix with it, focus, down rank, focus his ultimate, he's aggressive, that's what I like. In the snow, he's one of the best DPS in the game. He's aggressive with it, Jeff the Lancer, I'm paid to food. My boy Loki, or my girl Loki, because I got the lady Loki skin on it. There's a lot of potential.
Go eat your food. I made you some meat. Go eat.
Why is that they should keep going? We don't
it's in the room.
Everybody. You just need more utility characters to be added into the game. They need to tone. And I don't know if they'll ever tone. Like the way Brass is in this game, I don't know if they'll ever. I don't want to say they never will, but just the likelihood of them doing it, I just don't see it quite yet, but we'll see. But, in a perfect world, I think they should kind of tone the damage down. Once they tone the damage down, they tone the healing down. Once they tone that down, that makes neutral play so much more advanced. So it's better. They're making it just the kind of ults that we have in the game, so it's just not like, oh, we pop on, we're just invincible for X amount of time. White Fox are not necessarily invincible. She can get counters, she can get forward, she can get grass, she can get stunned. So you have to be smart about it. More ultimates like that. Now there's a place for characters like Cloak and Dagger, Rocket, it's a place for them. I'm not saying, those ults are bad, but we don't need, our next couple of supports don't need we're just standing in this little dome of invincibility. We don't need no more supports like that in these, please. Because this makes people stay one-dimensional. The support player base needs to be able to adapt, evolve, and grow from being heal bots to these. With that being said, let me know what you thought down below of the whole support situation. Do you guys think support's on a good spot? What kind of supports do you want to see? What kind of ultimates do you want to see in the future? Then I think we have enough ultimate game that's just like, you stand here and you get here. We just need some more utility that kind of fits the neutral game. That's why I like doing it, because it's not necessarily, it's not necessarily like a super healing, but it's like more of an aggressive damage. It's kind of like an in-team kind of role, but we can still do counters, so it's not just stupid. I like that aspect. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I think you guys for always watching videos. If I didn't say it already, I appreciate all the love and support.
After this game, I'll see what you need.
We're super close to 1,500, and I appreciate any and all the support from the videos. If I'm live tonight, I'll be live on Twitch, but my sleep schedule is kind of fried, so we'll see. But I'll catch you guys the next week. I'll be easy, and we're out of here, man. Yo, what's up, gang? How y'all doing? What's up, man? Look, today's discussion, I want to go ahead and just start this off with a question for you guys to think about and respond in the comments. Do you believe that the characters within the strategist role of Marvel Rivals are designed well? I'll say it again. Do you believe that strategists, the characters within that role, are designed well for this game? Let me know your thoughts down below. Regardless if you're a tank player, regardless if you're a DPS player, regardless if you only play support, I want to know all perspectives. Whether you're casual, mid-rank, high-rank, I just want to know how you guys feel about this, the overall design, the perspective on just the strategist role itself. With that being said, support me. Y'all knew this video was coming. Hey, I sat there and said this hopeless. It was like, yo, accountability plan. And y'all talked about the other spectrum. I was like, y'all right. Supports. You guys talked about how y'all hopeless fights before you get mad. Before y'all like, I'm actually not even necessarily thinking on my support players. Like, this is actually, this discussion has more to do with just the character design part. This is actually a developer kind of thing, to be completely honest. So I want to talk about how the devs kind of design these supports, what goes on in the gameplay loop-wise that support players kind of have to deal with, and how that gameplay loop has evolved, like, you know, what happened from the design into the GameCube and how that's translated into the perspective of how the whole community views what support should be doing to mobile rights. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, you guys are, it's not okay. We're actually having a discussion. Okay, don't worry, calm down. Feel free to give me your input and all your viewpoints down below. With that being said, before we get into the yap session, I gotta be petty.
You hung up on your mama? Yeah. I was on the phone. Bye.
But for those who watch, when you click on this video, I know my titles are hyperbolic. It's intentional. It's intentionally hyperbolic. But when you actually listen, you understand that we're having a discussion. We're talking about nuances within the game that not a lot of people touch on. I'm bringing in different viewpoints. I shift my mind to have a different perspective. That's why when I did
I had to play one more there.
I was taking one more, okay? DPS of the support man. And I was putting myself in y'all's shoes and doing the video from that perspective. That's what made it great. That's why I like y'all viewpoints and your input. The majority of y'all are great positive vibes. Y'all be vibing. Y'all be great. There's a subsection. There's like a 21% of civilians. And I'm not talking about the people that be showing love. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about this. There's a small percentage of people that lack any kind of literacy, comprehension skills, like to click on my video and be like, oh, this guy's complaining. There hasn't been one video that I have sat here and complained for 10, 20 minutes on it. It was just me complaining from start to finish. Now I might joke around on my DPS because calling y'all stupid and not feel. You know, I'm gonna joke around. Don't be wrong. But I have never made, I will never make a video using like, I hate this game, Marvel Rivals is trash, blah, 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 blah. You know, matchmaking, I hate it. I hate this, I hate that. I've never done a video. Now, I talk about different aspects of the game that can be worked on. That's factual. I talk about how, you know, different, you know, things in the community is better. Yeah, boss did so rude.
No, y'all still don't know.
But at the same time, I keep forgetting we're in this era where people got TikTok brains, so you know they can't sit here and actually comprehend and listen to anything. So I had this one specific video, and I actually in the comment section, I sat here and said I was going to bring this up in another video. I didn't do it in my last one because that was more of like this, like guys focus. But here we are. Let me be petty right quick. All right. So listen, I was talking about Adam Warlock. Right, you know, it was a funny video. But I was just talking about the perspective of Adam Warlock within the community, basically, long story short. Some of you may have watched it. Check it out if you haven't. This fan decided to say, Gamer Pitch weighed 3,500. I'll say this once again. Why not bother you while you complain to give us a more informative video to educate while you rant? You simply milking this for content. Bother you how bad players are doing, or are you scared to show us your performance engagement? Now, here's the thing. I said it'll be a minute 30. I'll put the time stamp up y'all. That's safe here in the comments. Because some people be like, Dana, don't pay attention. I'm not above kicking a chihuahua. That's the thing. If a freaking chihuahua bites your freaking toe, guess what you finna do? You finna stomp it out. So we're gonna stomp this thing out right quick. First of all, one, all my videos are literally discussion based.
Yeah.
So you know, a little entertaining. Maybe I'm funny to some people. You know, hopefully. But yeah, all my videos are literally intended to be discussion based and educational for you to learn a different perspective. So one, you gotta fuck up. Two, Mr. Gamer Pitch.
Donald Trump looked absolutely terrible as he was leaving Beijing, physically deteriorating, struggling to walk up the steps on Air Force One. He is returning to the United States from an utterly failed trip. He is returning with nothing. Or perhaps I should say, with rose seeds. Yep, Xi Jinping's departing gift for Donald Trump as the ultimate jab was to give Donald Trump rose seeds, nothing else, knowing that there would be no place to plant the rose seeds because Donald Trump and Melania tore up the rose garden at the White House, which Xi Jinping knows how beautiful that rose garden was because unlike Donald Trump, who he made Trump visit him in Beijing, Xi Jinping's trips to the United States was to visit former President Obama when he was in the White House and former President Biden when Biden was in the White House. Xi Jinping went to D.C. first to meet with them. So let's talk about how this disastrous trip ended Donald Trump bringing back nothing like shame, ridicule, embarrassment, humiliation. So before Donald Trump left, he was walking around with Xi Jinping outside in the residence area for Xi Jinping. And then Donald Trump said, nice place. I could get used to this. Oh, very nice tree. Look at the nice tree. He's so awkward, so weird. And it looks like he's like physically attracted to Xi Jinping. I can get used to living. What are you talking about? Here, play this clip. Nice fight.
我喜欢这点，我这个能待得够，可能不想走。
And then it gets even weirder before Donald Trump leaves. He turns to Xi Jinping and he says to the interpreter, can you please ask the president, does he let other prime ministers and presidents out here, or am I the only one who gets to see these trees? What? Here, play this clip. Alright, so after that weirdness happens, Donald Trump sitting with Xi Jinping for this final tea ceremony, as they were calling it. And here was Donald Trump's position about his discussion with Xi Jinping. He's like, we did discuss Iran. We feel very similar. We want the straits open, so we're closing it now. We want it open, so we're closing it. Here, play this clip.
Settled. And the relationship is strong. We've really done some wonderful things. I believe we did discuss Iran. We feel very similar and want that to end. And we don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. We want the straits open. We're closing it now. They closed it and we're closing on top of it. But we want the straits open. And we want them to get it in. Crazy things. Crazy. And it's no good in heaven. We cannot have a nuclear weapon.
And then Donald Trump says how much he wants to thank Xi.
Hell, man, in the fucking time, man.
Great friends they've become.
They got way more time than you did, dog.
Friend, Xi Jinping was looking for global dominance, hegemonic power, Thucydides' trap, restructuring the global architecture. That's what Xi Jinping was talking about. Three-dimensional, four-dimensional chess of diplomacy. Donald Trump was like looking for an authoritarian friend. Do you like me, Xi? Do you like me, Xi? Watch how pathetic this was. Here, play this clip.
But we discussed a lot of it. We're very much on it. We'll have further discussions now with the group. But I just want to thank President Xi and all of his representatives and become friendly with all of them. Great people.
Fucking damn.
Back. I believe it's September 4th.
3-3. I'm about to say, god damn, man. Yeah. Yeah. I had to fight for my life on fucking this.
And I just want to end by saying thank you very much. It's been really a great couple of days.
Damn.
And then this Donald Trump sitting next to Xi Jinping, and Xi Jinping's talking about we're sending Donald Trump home with rose seeds, not roses, roses. Like Donald Trump really liked some of the roses out here, so we're going to give him some of the seeds. And then Donald Trump's like, we did lots of deals, lots of trade deals. What trade deals did you do? You didn't do any deals at all. Here, let's play this.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me one time, man. Unless you don't want your notifications full of cool ass videos. Oh, I'm chilling, man. I was trying to.
Amazing day.
Hell yeah. It's early, bro. How you already have an amazing day? What kind of good news did you get, man?
Made some fantastic trade deals great for both countries. He's a man I respect.
Yeah, I appreciate you sliding through, man. I'm about to go feed my son, man. I'm gonna get back
Unsubscribe to
on in a
YouTube channel
minute.
and roll
And several
notifications
others,
on.
different problems that other
Oh, that's
people-
what's up, bro. I'm gonna remember your name, man. Don already a
I'm
subscriber,
having a
bro.
YouTube channel as well.
We've really done
Alright, I'm gonna follow you in a sec. Matter of fact, let me see.
In fact, well, one of the things
I
we
can
noticed
subscribe
was
to your
voter
channel
share
real quick, man.
4% after
May
Donald
you
Trump
gonna
said that
take a
China
look now.
agreed to buy 200 phones.
Yeah, I'm about to go. Yeah, I'm about to holler at you right now. I'm about to go make my son something to eat, and I'll look at your videos.
Also, we saw U.S. stock futures dip after Donald Trump's trade representative, Jameson Greer, said that the Donald Trump Xi Jinping talks
May you
did
gonna
not
need to
cover
roll the
any of the
notifications on
chips. There
too.
was some information that
Okay,
leaked
thumbs
out that
up.
Trump was going to give Xi Jinping the H200 chips, GPUs, that were highly classified. But then one of the things that we were learning is that maybe China didn't even want it because they've already got the technology, likely from other sources as well. I'll just show you these photos right here just to remind you. This is when Xi Jinping took the first official state visit to the United States to see Obama. Take a look right here. Then this is when Xi Jinping came to see Biden over here, not the other way around. As though Donald Trump is thinking that he got some special treatment right here. I'll show you right here as well as Xi Jinping was saying hello to the various Trump officials. I want you to watch as he stares down Stephen Miller. You can see him staring down Stephen Miller and staring down Stephen Chung. He like stops and pauses and gives them a very, unique look. So then Donald Trump went on state regime media, which calls itself Fox, right before Trump left. And Donald Trump again started glazing Xi Jinping and saying, Xi Jinping's right out of central casting. If you went to Hollywood and you looked for a leader of China, you would never get someone as strong and powerful as Xi in Hollywood. Again, what are you talking about? Do you even know what this trip is supposed to be? Here, play this clip.
Say about him that if you went to Hollywood and you looked for a leader of China to play a role in a movie,
Central casting.
central casting, you couldn't find a guy like him. Even his physical features, he's tall, very tall, and special for this country because they tend to be a little bit shorter. If you look at the military, I mean,